Hi everyone. It's a great honor for us to be the participants of the 19th International Conference on Sustainable Development. Hi everyone to the conference audience. Let me present myself and my colleague, Maya Giorbelidze, is present Cape Breton University from Canada. She is assistant professor, and I am representing Business and Technology University from Georgia, associate professor. We are collaborating, working regarding this research paper, enhancing sustainable development through gender equality, the role of mentorship in empowering women-led SMEs in Georgia's economy. We will go through our content and we will cover such kind of context of the research, introduction, literature review, methodology, key findings, and some thumbs up and discussion format. The next slide, we will cover some kind of context of the research. Georgia is located at the crossroads of Eastern Europe and Western Asia, has a population up to 3.7 million, with women up to 15%. As for gender equality progress, women's labor force participation in is up to 15.6%, and they are growing, represented in education, healthcare, public administration, or etc. The National Action Plan for Gender Equality supports these advancements. In Georgia, there are plenty of challenges, and also have the opportunity to gain some kind of international support. Rural women face limited access to education or formal employment. And as for international support, such kind of international organizations as UN Women or the World Bank Aid are bridging such kind of gaps through training or some kind of training and financial support initiatives. As for mentorship, women-led SMEs, it's through mentorship, empowerment of women is crucial for sustainable development, driving some kind of equitable economic growth and resilience. And challenging traditional models means that we have some kind of patriarchal business models, highlighting the marginalization of alternative entrepreneurial approaches. As for addressing critical challenges, women entrepreneurs face significant hurdles, including some kind of limited resource access, systematic biases, lack of empowerment in networks, and etc. And mentorship programs offered by these donor organizations are essential to bridge these gaps, offering guidance, expertise, and networking opportunities for sustainable economic landscape. As for literature review, Maya will cover this topic.
Hi, thank you so much. So our objective was to look how mentorship, along with the access to the grant, pretty much supplementing and bundling the service together, help women better succeed in business. And what are the main dimensions of these changes? Therefore, the first we looked at what is the available literature in this area, how the women entrepreneurship is defined, how the women's economic empowerment is perceived across different literature, what are the challenges that's available based on the desk review, and how can our theoretical framework and the research that we conducted contribute to this existing body of the literature. Generally, there are lots of studies looking at barriers of women's economic empowerment, and the main ones that we came across were some of the social norms, like unequal access to education and healthcare, limited access to finance, including the access to credit, and obviously the gender-based violence. Gender-based gaps in education are also a pattern that comes across the desk review. The challenges based on the literature review that we came across were mostly like financial challenges, gender discrimination during the financing process and procedures. Oftentimes women don't have knowledge and don't have experience how to access those financial means, and social cultural factors influence women while leading their entrepreneurial efforts. Particularly, there are no role models, there is lack of access to markets, and the patriarchal ideology hinders their journey during this entrepreneurial process. The research found that there is a positive correlation between the provided mentorship and the performance of women-led SMEs. Meaning that the role of mentorship in providing women entrepreneurs with access to valuable resources, including knowledge and network, are very crucial and help women in their journey. And then we will be presenting how our research contributes to this specific evidence from the literature review. There is also a societal impact and also the organizational growth that the mentorship contributes to. So based on that, what we looked at is that we defined some of the basic theoretical frameworks. What could be the foundation of our quantitative data collection? So we looked at how mentorship influences on 4 areas, which is an organizational dynamics, societal impact, strategic development, and entrepreneurial advancement. Under the organizational dynamics, we looked at whether mentorship influences the longevity of the business, whether it has any impact on revenue distribution and financial awareness, whether if women who have access to mentorship get better loan source selection and financial decision making, and whether their financial conditions are better. Under the societal impact, we look the influence of mentorship on job creation and employment stability, and also to what extent women feel empowered in the business itself. From the strategic development perspective, we looked at the angle of what the influence of mentorship towards loan utilization, perception of finance as a barrier, and to what extent the revenues of those women and women-led SMEs have been changed over the years once they go through the mentorship. And generally, what is the entrepreneurial ecosystem and advancement for women-led SMEs when they are engaged in mentorship programs, whether their desire to growth changes over the year, whether their operational improvements take place, what is the extent of uptake of innovation, and what is the utilization of investment and leasing services. Based on that, what we did that we approached one of the leading microfinance institutions in the country of Georgia, as explained by Natia, which is in Eastern Europe, joint stock company Crystal, who has two-sided programs. First, there are women who get just loans to either start or expand their small and medium enterprises. And on the other side, they provide mentorship support. But not all the women go through the mentorship support. And mentorship includes access to business training, access to financial literacy courses, guiding their business activities, pretty much access to a knowledge pool, which helps them build their small and medium enterprises better. So we did an RCT, a randomized control trial, and we looked at 100 mentored women and 102 non-mentored women. And their distribution you can see on the screen as well, that has been changed. Like it varies starting from those who have been operating more than 1 year or more than 5 years. We tried to select the sample that are similar to the sample that was control group. So these two samples are more or less similar to each other. So the data that we collected is comparable, and it has been collected across the whole country in different regions of Georgia. And now I'll hand it over to Natia to discuss some of those detailed findings. Over to you.
Thank you, Maya. We will start now to share you our findings, and we have divided them into 4 dimensions. Some of them Maya has already mentioned. First of all is organizational dynamics, but as we analyzed the data, it highlighted the potential impact of mentorship on companies' operations or annual revenue distribution, employment rates, loan utilization patterns, and etc., and the impact of mentorship on growing business, as it is already shared on the screen. Of the first line was whether they had a positive or negative impact on the access to finance, and both mentored and non-mentored business ladies also expressed that there was not required any type of collateral to get access to finance, which is a positive insight in this direction, and it means and indicates that a significant proportion of business were able to access loans without the need of specific collateral. On the next slide, we have also some little review about the patterns of loan utilization, but there was some kind of difference. 1/3, approximately 33% of mentored establishment took loan, but 50% more than mentored, non-mentored women's couldn't take this loan. This disparity suggests that mentorship may facilitate positive access to financial resources through guidance or support provided to the mentored businesses. As for trends to employment, that is the second dimension of our findings under societal impact. There is shown that among mentored establishments, 22% reported that they increased and had positive increase in employment, and 27% from non-mentored businesses also reported the increase in employment, and this suggests that a significant portion of them also had, and that was not an exclusive positive growth, because both of them shown this growth in employment. As for the next one, the next dimension was also this strategic development, and we have asked them also to share their opinion regarding annual revenue and make some distinguished patterns, catch some patterns between this mentored and non-mentored companies. But here is shown that in 2021, substantial proportion of both mentored and non-mentored companies reported that they didn't know their annual revenue, and this lack of financial awareness was highlighted from their answers, and it is a potential challenge for these businesses in effectively managing and evaluating their financial performances. But this picture was a little bit changed to positive in 2022, but also there must be mentioned that larger proportion of mentored businesses, 19%, reported significant increase in their annual revenue compared to non-mentored ones, which is suggesting us as a positive correlation between mentorship and revenue growth. And on the next slide, I have already mentioned that in 2022 there was some kind of potential improvement in financial awareness amongst the rate businesses. And the next 2 dimensions of our findings will cover Maya.
Thank you. So we looked at, in addition to those societal impact and organizational dynamics, we looked at, as mentioned before during the theoretical review, it's an entrepreneurial advancement. So among the mentor businesses, like vast majority of them, more than 70% said that those consulting advice or the benefits that they received through mentorship was very important and had a significant impact on their success in raising their financial funds. And it is important that higher number of mentored groups, like 92%, compared to the non-mentored group, reported signs of improvement in their business aside from funding. So, meaning that those who had access to mentorship opportunities, they are experiencing more positive changes in their entrepreneurial journey compared to the ones who didn't have access. In addition to that, we looked at what's their future planning look like and whether mentorship influences their future journey and the desire to growth. Significantly, those who are mentored, who went through the process, vast majority, almost all of them, 94% reported that they have a great desire for a rapid growth in the next 3 years, while the number was a little bit lower, 79% for those that are non-mentored. And also the groups that have been mentored, their number was slightly higher, and they rated their ability to achieve faster growth and their ability to manage their business they rated higher compared to those who haven't gone the mentorship process. And therefore, to summarize all of that, these are the key areas where we saw the improvements. First is the organizational dynamics. Those businesses that have been mentored, they have more of a structure, they are much more organized in a structured way, meaning that they are registered in a legal entity and they are managing their journey much more in a adhering to the laws and policies compared to the ones that have not been mentored. The trends, the employment trends are similar that both mentored and non-mentored businesses suggest that mentorship impacts on job creation and employment stability. For the strategic development perspective, the access to finance among those businesses is that those who have done the mentorship, their access to finance is higher. Also mentorship potentially has a possibility to raise their business aspirations and help them also secure more necessary funding for that. For the entrepreneurial advancement, as I just mentioned, there is a higher revenue growth in mentored businesses over the past 2 years, looking that mentorship and those access to those bundled services can contribute positively overall to the women-led SME entrepreneurial development process. And in a nutshell, the access to the services, besides the loan, that is followed up with access to knowledge and access to networks, positively influences on women-led SMEs and contributes to their growth in the future. These are some of the references that we looked at the literature review site, just as an example. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your attention. Thank you.